Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, Warriors? Welcome back to another episode. Terry, it's been a week, can I tell you? Yeah, I was running out of energy. I was headed to the finish line. I got to my infusion on Friday, and now I feel like $1,000,000. I've cleared the crap gap. I made it. I'm good until next year. But boy, it was a tough road getting there this time. The heat was not my friend the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people probably figured out that we didn't do a recording last week because you're not up to par and you still have that storm happening in your area, right? Let's just clear that out of the way in case you do cut out.
I feel like that's going to be the running joke of 40 Below Zero, Terry. I think I'm just going to dip out of episodes randomly, and you're going to go, oh, well, there goes Nick. You got to guess another thunderstorm.
Don't do that to me, man.
How about you?
So,
How about your 2 weeks? What did you do?
so last week you weren't feeling up to par, and
Not even
honestly,
close.
bro, I wasn't either. It wasn't the same situation as you, but I didn't want to be like, hey, me too, like, hey,
Hmm.
me too, man. I'm not comparing with you and all that stuff. So I feel you, man. And being in a chair sucks. And I hate bitching about it because the more I complain, the more I feel paranoid that people are going to try to stick me in a home. Like, oh, let them take care of you. Oh, if I can do it myself, and the humidity is not helping me, man.
No.
Dude, I love being in the sun, but I can't. And not
Hmm.
only that, but the humidity takes my breath away sometimes. That sounds so corny.
No, it doesn't sound corny. The same exact thing happens to me.
And
You
what's up with the
you feel like
humidity
you're in an oven.
damaging my hair all the time, man? Okay.
Yeah, you're looking a little ragged down here. Well, I'm glad. It's good to be back. Glad you're here with me. And who do we have joining us today?
So before I introduce him, I got to give a shout out to Miranda and thank her. First of all, I don't know if you guys remember her. She's from Rise Above Adaptive Climbing. Dude, she allowed me to have the experience of climbing, even though I'm in a wheelchair. I never thought that would happen. So she gave me that experience, and I got to meet a lot of cool people. So, bringing us
Right on.
to our guest right now. Um, while our podcast typically focuses on multiple sclerosis, today we're shifting our spotlight to a awesome individual whose story transcends boundaries of physical challenges and triumphs. Nick, I am so thrilled to introduce you to Jeremy, a member of the Canadian para climbing team, a rock base ambassador, which he will explain to us what that's all about. And although he doesn't have multiple sclerosis, he brings a unique perspective as someone who has overcome his adversities, including living with an amputated foot.
Right
Today,
on.
we are privileged to have him here. Yo, Jeremy, thanks so much for being here, man. And did I get it right? Is it the foot? See
Well,
how
it's
I
this mid shin down is amputated. Yeah, like I lost my leg to a riding a lawnmower accident when I was 4, and it kind of cut from the front of the shin to the back of the knee. So technically, the back of my leg is shin too.
bro, did you hear that, Nick?
I
4.
did at 4 years old.
That's
Well, welcome,
crazy.
Jeremy. Glad you're here with us.
Yeah, thanks
Um,
for having me. I've loved the podcast
oh, thank
since
you.
day one. I think
An,
since
an
you,
original.
yeah,
Nice.
Thanks,
yeah,
bro.
I listen back on those episodes and I cringe a little bit, but you got to start somewhere, I guess.
there's always growing pains.
So, so tell me about paraclimbing. I'm not familiar at all, other than and I saw Terry's video.
Well, paraclimbing is to do with anything like with adaptive like climbers, people with like missing legs, above, below knee, people missing arms, could be like fingers to mid arm to upper arm, visually impaired, fully blind, and like partial vision, and range power, which would be like people with like multiple sclerosis, spina bifida, like where it affects 1 to like all limbs. And so there's like 3 different categories for that too.
So it's pretty inclusive. That's wild.
Yeah. And
Which
I don't know if you've heard lately, but we've been just announced that 2028 paraclimbing is in the Paralympics.
Oh, right on.
So it's a pretty
so
big stage now.
so does that make you a Paralympian?
Not yet. We would have to go through the whole process of qualifying for that. And we have to figure out first which categories are going to actually make it into the Olympics. Because I don't know if you've ever heard for able body like climbing. The first round had all 3 disciplines like rope climbing, bouldering, and speed climbing were all one discipline pretty much. So like people who lead climb had to do all 3. So it's kind of probably be like kind of the same as like we don't have as many categories the first time around, and hopefully within the next couple Olympics we can include all the categories.
So they're building on this. This is so new. They're still structuring it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's the first time around. It's gonna be tough for some people because they might not be included, but it's all part of the growing process. Build popularity, and then we can expand.
That's so
And
cool.
I love how they're so inclusive. I know you're an ambassador for the rock base. I'm reading about that, and dude, I love how I forget the words you used, but it's basically inclusivity. You're trying to bring everyone in. Is that what rock base is, or is that something else?
Well, Rock Base has just tried to get like bring more awareness to paraclimbing, but Rock Base was actually a app to like it's essentially a partner finder for like everyone, and they're planning on building on later for like paraclimbing, so people with like same disabilities or just any disabilities can meet up and climb together.
Does that mean one person belays for the, did I use the right term? Belays for the other person?
Yeah, yeah, like you would,
Is it,
because some like if you are like partially like able bodied, like I could probably boulder, but someone with a like a more severe disability might not want to boulder. But like you can like meet up with people to boulder, or if you are able to uh belay, you can just meet up with anyone.
So for the
Uh,
uninitiated and uninformed such as myself, what do you mean when you say bouldering? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, bouldering is uh for most part like in the gym, it's climbing 16 feet high without a rope. So all you
Oh.
have is like a 16 to 20-inch mat underneath you, which feels pretty good. And I don't mind falling from the top. It's the first 2 feet that gets you. It's because like it's where you roll your ankles because you're like doing these moves where you're like just trying to balance, and then your feet pop off and you drill your ankles into the ground. Um, it's the height doesn't bother me at all. But
Okay.
there is like outdoors, there's like highball bouldering, which can be 25 feet, and you're bringing your own pads. So you better hope you have like a lot of your buddies coming with their pads because falling's going to hurt a lot more.
Wow.
dude, you've traveled a lot. I know because I know you were just in Austria,
Yes,
right?
yes, I was. Yeah.
And you been around, like you were in France once. I don't know if that was for climbing, but I saw you next to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that was it wasn't for climbing. That was kind of like my end of trip thing. I had to make my way back to France to catch my flight back to Canada. And I like booked it so I had a day in France, and got to kind of walk around. And I did a lot of walking that day. My leg did not love me after that. Like 28 kilometers of walking. Yeah.
oh shit.
Ooh.
I don't
Yeah.
do more than 2 feet. Anyway, I found what you said, because you're an ambassador for Rock Base, working together to support and sustain a diverse and inclusive climbing community for generations to come. Well said, perfectly said. And this guy has an Instagram account, and I love the name of his Instagram account. You see what kind of a guy he is, what kind of, a joker, or he's just being real. His account name is Gimpin' and Still Crimpin'.
Yep. I love that. It's perfect.
Definitely awesome. Dude, how long were you on the team for?
I've probably been like one of the two original people on our team since like Climb Canada started like supporting like or like having a team. So 2021 fall in Los Angeles I went to with Seamus Bullion from the West Coast.
And he
Yeah.
was in the World Cup of
Yeah,
climbing.
yeah.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
we were both.
existed. I think this needs to be more awareness of this stuff. So there was a World Cup for climbing, and it's someone you know. Is he part of the team? Your team?
He is part of our team, but originally I had never met him. And so like the first like year, it was pretty much an email. It was sent out. It's like, does anyone want to represent Canada? And he and I were like the first ones to kind of answer the call because what better way to meet people than on the world stage?
Seriously.
I got a question. Did you climb before the amputation? Oh,
No, no,
dude,
no.
dude, dude.
It's
Fog at
okay.
its worst. Fog at its. I cannot believe that just happened. Cut it out, Nick. Cut this out. Anyway, what's the
Give it
dumbest
to my
thing?
editor.
On that note, what's the dumbest thing someone has said to you? Because we have a lot of things that people say to us that are dumb. And yes, let's go.
I don't know, like it was said to me, but like literally in the mall just the other day, I heard two girls walking by me and they were in a store and they didn't want to spend enough money. So like I'd have to cut my leg off to get that like item. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, do you really just say that just as I walk by? That's quite the coincidence.
That's bad timing.
It was
Jeez.
kind of funny, but I was like, wow, I
Dude,
don't think you want that. It's not fun.
I don't know if I would keep my cool. If I'd analyze them, I'd be like, did they really just say that because of me? Or were they just, that's such an ass move.
It's
What's,
it's
Seriously.
what
it's
do you,
funny.
what do you say to people? Like, do people stare at you and do you say something or do you just let it go? Because when people stare at me, I'm always like, I have MS. I feel like I need to tell them because they're looking at me sitting in a chair. And so, do you speak up?
Well, it used to be kind of like very uncomfortable and like people like stare at you and you're like, well, what are you looking at? And but now it's kind of I just kind of see people walk by. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, do you have any questions? Because I'd rather you come up and ask me, because it'll go a lot smoother for both of us
Yeah.
and less awkward.
That's very
Um,
true. And that's, and that's what when I talk about, especially the kids, when I'm in the wheelchair and the kids look at me and I say, you kind of be like, don't be afraid. Just ask. I'll talk to you about it,
yeah,
So I get it. I get what you're saying.
yeah, and the kids are really good about it, like because kids are like blunt and you just gotta love kids. They're like, wow, what's wrong with you? It's like, well, this is what happened. And it's like, and the parents kind of like, oh, I've had my kids on the lawnmower with me, and kind of have second thoughts. And it's like, yeah, you don't have your kids on your lawnmower. I mean, it's a little bit better now because back in the day when I had it, they didn't have the safety switch in the seats,
Yep.
so yeah, like it'll be a little easier. But I've had a couple people I've worked with who said they disabled that in their lawnmower. And I was like, you should probably go home and re-enable that thing because that thing is very important.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
I'll-
man. I saw you were doing tricks on a BMX bike or a bike. Uh, you can still ride a bike normally, like everything's okay. That must be a stupid question, bro. I'm so sorry.
Oh
But
no, like I do still ride a bike. It causes a lot of like issues with the behind my knee with my prosthesis, like digging in.
okay,
That video you saw was a throwback to when I used to be a Max back in high school. Um, but
dude, I saw that video and I'm like, oh, so he used to ride bikes before he had issues. But then you told us at 4 years old, so I'm like, yo, you did that with an amputated like foot, or what do you call it? You don't say amputated foot, do you?
just amputated leg because it does
Amputated
take
leg.
part of the leg, right? Yeah, yeah. No, I've been riding a bike before I lost my leg, um, and even after. The first thing I did was jump on my bike and pedal one legged. which it's not like, going around. It's more of a like a you bring the foot
Yep.
forward and you coast, like you pull with one foot. But yeah, I just wanted to do stuff. I don't want to sit around.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to show a video. Not yet. I have a question first, and then I'm going to show a video of him being a joker. And if you're okay with it, you post it on
Yeah.
Instagram. And wait, what did I write? Don't have a glass, use a leg.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll show you in a
You can
second.
do it.
I got one question first, though. What is plus 1.75 ape index?
So that would be like if you were to like expand like straight out, tip of finger to tip of finger, it means you're 1.75 inches longer than your height. Because technically you're like a even index would be the same height as you are wide, like with your hands.
So why did you write that? You wrote that kind of on your bio. Why do
Yeah,
people?
it's just kind of like cool because like in climbing, if you have like a plus ape index, it means you can like reach a hold
Oh,
that's
okay.
farther, or yeah, it's kind
That's
of like a
cool.
little bit of a brag, kind of,
Sure.
Like
Okay.
there are some people with like negative ape index.
Oh,
I
okay.
I
Okay.
couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Let me show this video really fast. And it's funny. Like I love how this guy, it's like me. I make fun of what I'm going through. So I'm guessing this is the part that goes into your knee when you're riding a bike and it causes issue behind whatever.
Yeah, yeah. My residual limb would go like down deep into the socket.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
She took
That's
it.
actually Seamus, my teammate, from my original teammate. He's still on the team. That's his wife now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool, man. I love your humor, and you guys made it so comfortable for me. And I go through a lot of anxiety. So when I was there and uh, you were helping me climb and all that stuff, and I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable. But with you guys, I felt like it was a family feeling. Everyone was there to support each other, and the fact that I saw who's on your team, Terry, who's blind, fully. Dude, I'm like, how does he do it? And he has a whole ear system where someone talks to him while he's up there, usually his belay. But dude, that's crazy. So there's nobody that can't do that.
No, there's always like at whatever level you're at, we'll get you up the wall. And we do miss Terry at our adaptive nights. We haven't had many of them, but um, yeah,
Bro,
we love it.
you know why? Okay, first of all, you know why I haven't gone in a while? Because it's in evenings usually, and
Yeah.
it's not an excuse, but I promise you, in the evening times, I'm done. I'm tired, and and I've been there a couple times because I was like, damn, this is so cool that I can actually do this. And but then after the second time, I'm like, yo, I'm so tired. It's so embarrassing. I know you're gonna tell me not to be embarrassed, but dude, you guys are like, like you go up there in 10 seconds, and I'm like, it's just a struggle, and it's just not fun sometimes when you just feel like you're on your way down. Does that make sense? Mark,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're listening to this, go F yourself because I have MS and I'm tired, bro. At night times, I especially am tired because I know Mark's gonna be like, "Don't give up, man." Listen, bro, it's I'm on my way out. I have MS and my body is dying slowly. Okay, let's carry on,
Right.
On that note, Ter, thanks for bringing the room down. Yeesh.
bro. I'm not. I'm just being real. I'm.
Yes, I know you're tired. I get it. And listen, when you go through and expend all the energy you have to in a day, the last thing you want to do is go somewhere and maybe climb a wall.
Bro, you know what? Next time I'm gonna go when you guys have an event. I'm just gonna go and chill with you guys. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's like totally cool. We
I'm
just love having you there,
dude, I'm
you
gonna
know.
be there. I'm gonna chill. I'm just telling you now. If someone's like, "Hey, you want to climb?" and I say no, it's a no. Okay, thank you,
If you don't mind, like August 17th, I
bro.
think is our next one.
I'll be there, August 17th.
There you
Yeah,
go. It's a
we just
date.
had one. We had one yesterday, but not at our gym.
Oh no, I know. I saw that too at a place
Yeah,
that starts with G,
yeah, Guelph Grotto. Yeah,
Guelph Guado.
So now that
yeah.
you have a 2028 target date for the big stage, what kind of prep work do you guys have to do?
Oh, first is getting back to full health. I've got a few like finger injuries, and some leg issues that are coming up right now, like wear and tear, from being in Europe. But yeah, mainly it's probably cutting down body weight and just getting stronger. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm probably like one of the heavier climbers in our category.
Now, you said there's several disciplines. Which one do you like the best, or do you see yourself doing the most? Is it
For us,
both?
we only have one discipline for like competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the able body have like three. Because right
Show
now we
off.
can't have a lot of disabilities can't do bouldering because it's not physically possible or safe for them to do in competition, and speed climbing is just crazy.
I can
It's
imagine.
crazy. Like some of those guys now go up the wall at like less than 5 seconds in a 50-foot or 50-meter, no, 50-foot wall. Yeah,
Wow.
How tall are you, by the way?
I'm 6 foot. Yeah.
And does it matter how tall you are when you climb? Is it easier for shorter or taller? Just curious.
That's a good question. Is height an advantage in climbing?
For certain things, I think if you are missing a limb, it's an advantage. Um, just a lot of the high stepping with my leg is like impossible. So I will like use a knee or something to, advance myself. But I think predominantly like girls, like able body competitors, females are like 5 foot, like 4, most of them, the strongest ones.
Because I see all sorts of, I would think taller, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I
I
always
think
thought,
you're on to something, Terry. I think you're on. If you got a 6 inch height advantage on somebody, you're 6 inches further up the wall, I guess. Starting
yeah,
Yeah,
out.
like, well, they all have their advantages, right? Like smaller people fit into like tighter like moves, whereas like tall people, like their butt hangs off the wall a lot more if they're trying to scrunch in that same hole.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
yeah. That's another thing is people who have egos might not want to try climbing because, it just, I don't know. You just
Did you
hanging
fall
off
a
the
lot?
wall. And it's funny because when I was up there, before I went up there, they're like, "Do you want some knee pads?" I'm like, "No, I need to look cool. Get out of here." And then as I'm coming down, my knees kept hitting the wall, and I'm like, I guess I should have had knee pads. So that's on you, man, for not forcing them on me, Jeremy.
Sorry, I'm sorry, man. It's like you're gonna learn today as you plinko down the wall. Yeah.
Not funny. Anyway, dude, yeah. So, first of all, I'm so glad you're here today with us. I'm so glad you're hanging out with us. No pun intended.
Uh,
Anyway,
You're a mess, Terry.
oh,
I am a mess. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
So the next date you said August 22nd, right? I want to write that down just so
I
I don't
think it's like
forget.
17th is,
17th. I'll bother you before
yeah.
I'll ask you anyway. And
Oh
you
yeah.
guys always post it anyway, so that's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's already posted, I believe. Yeah.
Awesome. So your next, other than this, you have the World Cup that you guys got to qualify for.
Oh, that won't be probably till like 2026, 2027 for that.
Okay.
They'll be having to work out like all the different things we have to do, all the hoops we have to jump through. Um, for competition wise, I think this year I'm done. We have another one in Italy in September, but we're self funded, so
Wow.
like that
Wow.
money's just not there.
Yeah, that's tough.
Is there a place that people can donate?
Yeah, like Climb Canada has a donate section and like a drop down bar specifically donate to paraclimbing.
Cool. Cool.
And you get tax receipts that way.
Of course.
Yeah,
Dude,
which
this
is nice
is
now.
something all of us Canadians need to push towards because this is awesome. And the Junction, do they have any? I'd like to give them a shout out too, because if it's not for their location, I'd never be able to have met you guys. But are they kind of the sponsor or anything? I know they support you guys.
Yeah, they have supported us like in monetarily, like at a competition every year,
Okay.
um, which is really nice.
Awesome.
because it's not something they have to do, but they just wanted to do. Um, and yeah, they just had their 10th anniversary now,
Oh,
and
boy.
I've been there since before they even opened. So I'm like the OG of Junction.
Ocean grown? Just joking. So when I was doing my stretch therapy, um, Cassandra is the one that said, "Hey, you should check out the climbing facility in Junction." And I'm like, "Hey, like I'm in a chair, like I'm gonna." She's like, "No, they might have some programs." So it was because of her that I met you guys, and yeah, so I'm fortunate that you guys Junction is known in the area of London. So and
Yeah.
and you guys travel, like you guys always travel. You what guys went to Stratford to another location, and I just love how it's a big family.
Oh
You know,
yeah, like the whole adaptive community is a family. Even like in like October, we go down to an adaptive climbers festival. Last year we had like 150 adaptive athletes, just participants come. You camp out. They close down a crag for us so we can just climb outdoors. It's amazing.
that's cool.
And a
So
part, you
Yeah.
have a party too, so
Oh,
we
no
we,
doubt.
we party pretty hard.
what was he gonna say? Oh my God, brain fog. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's okay. This happens all the time, and Nick loves it when it happens because he's laughing
No,
at me right now.
not laughing at you at all. Uh, I believe me, I'm just getting back in the saddle, Terry. So I can't fault you for anything.
But
Uh,
anyway, um,
Yeah, if you ever wanted to, there's a couple from the U.S. team, Lindsay Purcell and her husband Nick Purcell. She has MS and she's on the U.S. team. She's they're like quite the couple. He's like the team like physiotherapist, um, but like they're the nicest people, and she's having her battle with MS too.
that's really interesting. We'll have to get in touch with them. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like that because I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. I said it earlier in the show. I just feel like my stamina is, I don't know if I'm getting weaker or not. I always ask my trainer. I said, "Hey, am I getting weaker?" And he doesn't want to really talk to me about it. He's like, "No, you're fine. Let's go." But I just get worried that I'm getting weaker. And every time I do the wall climb, I'm like, "Am I getting weak?" It's me shaming myself, feeling
Oh,
like,
you're not getting weaker. You were progressing every time you came. You just beat yourself down a little too much.
yeah, you're right.
Like, because it was your strength getting you up the wall. It was just us keeping your feet on.
I always felt like you guys were like, pulling me up a bit. I'm like, you got this, you got this. I'm like, do I really? Or are you pulling me up? You know what I mean?
No,
Like
no,
it
no.
was,
I kept like the slack out of the system, but no, like we were just like, holding your feet in place so you could step up and pull. Yeah. And
Got to
if you
give
kept
yourself a
on
little
it,
more
you'd probably,
credit there, Terry.
oh, yeah.
he's right. I'm always down on myself, blah, blah, blah. It's my ego and all that crap. But whatever. Dude, I really appreciate you being here today. Uh,
Yeah.
I want to bring you back on. I want to bring Miranda back on. You guys are awesome. You guys just made me feel really comfortable around you guys. And I got to tell you something that I didn't tell anybody, and I'm going to tell you. The second time I went, and the reason why I stopped going there is because when I went to use the washroom, I fell on the floor.
Oh, no.
I was, and your washroom is accessible. It's not accessible. It's when I stood up to do the transfer, whatever the hell happened. And I didn't, when I say I fall, bro, everyone knows I don't fall hard. I was like, oh, I'm going down. Right. And I slowly
Oh,
bring myself down. So I'm not hurt or anything. But the problem is I'm on the floor and I'm like, what do I do? And Katrina's there outside. And I'm like, what do I do? I can't even unlock the door I got myself up. Everything was fine. But bro, my mental being, I was like, man, what is going on with my, like it's just embarrassing and it's hard to deal with. So I kind of like just, I'm not going back for a while. I almost like everyone saw what happened in my head, but no one did. But anyway, I'm up. I don't care. I'm letting you know I got it out of the bag.
nice.
I'm
Well,
okay.
you're good.
Good. So
Yeah.
I will keep up. I will catch up with you soon. I will find out the dates, and we'll see you guys there for sure.
Awesome.
So
Thanks for coming on and hanging out and talking with us about adaptive climbing today, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me.
yeah,
Of course,
man.
brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it, bro. And I will talk to you soon. Okay.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
You too. All right.
What's going on, bro?
Dude, what a
Hey,
cool dude, man.
Yeah, he is cool.
That
Jeremy,
is a crazy story.
whenever you want to go, you're more than welcome to go. No stress. But dude, do you see the brain fog? Does not F
Yeah.
around.
No, it's totally serious.
And you know what's funny is I have things ready to say and I'll write it
Yeah.
down. And I'll write it down and I'm like, okay, this will remind me of this and this and this. But as I go to it, I'm like, what is this supposed to remind me of? And dude, the fog is real, man.
I get it. I totally understand, dude. Look, the temperature's up, the humidity is off the charts like we talked about. Naturally, everything is going to slow down. I only sound this good because I literally just got my medication. Otherwise, I would be in exactly. I was in the worst. I was in a worse state. I had to cancel last week. But you gotta take care of yourself, right?
Bro, I'm glad you canceled. I'm glad it was you and not me. Did my thing just switch? Wow, look at
Yeah, look at you fancy there
that.
with your two cameras, buddy.
Look at that. Yeah,
But no,
so
what a cool sport. I'm glad that Paralympics is getting as much attention as it has been over the years. I see it. I mean, it used to be really hard to find on television, but now they're making it real easy. I don't know if up in Canada, but down here it's Disability Pride Month. I don't know if you have that up there.
of course, of
Um,
course.
I don't know.
I
Shit.
know I don't know either. I don't know either. I'm saying, of course, like, yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know if it's an international thing, if it's like the worldwide. I
Well,
think it is because I see it everywhere on Instagram.
yeah. So happy Disability Pride Month, brother.
Yay.
Be proud. That's what we've been doing, right? It's what we talk about all the time.
Of course, man.
Be proud of
Of
yourself. See,
course.
and then, you know what? And in all honesty, dude, it it makes. I don't want to say it makes me. I feel bad because you beat yourself up too much. I don't want to harp on it, but he brought up a good point, and then you said about the bathroom, and
Bro, I can't even believe I'm bringing this shit up. Like,
yeah, but we have to, right? That's what we do, and you're getting upset at something you had no control over, and that's tough because you didn't make a mistake. It
you're
happened.
you're right. You're right. And it's like when the
So,
doctor asks you, do you have any falls? Usually
mhm.
I'm like, not really. Because I'm
Well,
just worried. I don't know why. Like, why are you asking? What are you gonna do if I say every day? You know?
well, you should be honest because you can't. It's unfair for the patient to get mad at the physician if the patient's not being honest with the physician. You can't say my doctor doesn't do anything for me if you don't tell them what you need done. And I do the same thing. I literally did it last week. I met with my primary care physician and she said, "Oh, have you had any falls recently?" And I was like, "Well, what constitutes a fall?"
Hmm.
I was like, "I stumbled and then I ended up on the grass." And she was like, "Well, that's a fall, Nick." I'm like, "Ah, yeah, good point. Okay." So yes, I had one. I had a couple of falls last week before I got the medication. It was not good. I was not having a good week.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was able to brace myself, like I was able to spread out so that the impact wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely kick to the ego. And I get it. Like when you're in a semi-public place, you kind of have to be like, didn't mean to do that. And you had to pick yourself back up and kind of shake it off. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I mean, listen, Ter, you can, you
Why did it
can,
switch again?
I don't know, man. You got a
Oh
crazy,
my God.
crazy camera set up there. Um, I don't
Go
even know
ahead.
what I was gonna say. Your
It's
camera,
okay. I
your
think
camera got me.
I think we need to end this before our brain fog ruins the show.
No, we're halfway through. We're pressing
Okay.
on.
Okay. Okay. Let's
We're
go.
pressing on. The people come to hear us complain and bitch
Yeah.
and brain fog it out. And hey,
I got
listen, half our listeners can only keep up with our brain fog, so it's okay.
I
They're on the
got
same level we are.
yo, I can bitch all day,
Well, let's
you know?
go.
Let's
Pick
go.
a topic.
Yo, I just don't want people to come to me afterwards and say, you can't say that. You can't say that. Bro, I feel, and I've said this before. Okay. Jeremy
Real
said
talk. Go ahead.
I'm getting strong. I get it. I did better than I did the time before. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
I might be
mm-hmm.
getting stronger from working out and all that stuff, but my stamina, I do it for 20 minutes, I'm done, bro. And then I do it again, it'll be 19 minutes. I do it again, it'll be 18 minutes. Eventually, it'll be a minute. I'm on my way out. I feel I'm not being the I'm not being
No, no, real
that
talk. Go. Just
I
go.
feel I'm on my way out, bro. I
Okay.
am on it might be 10 years, might be 20 years, dude, I'm on my way out.
That
It
is an extremely common mentality and mindset for us, the MS community.
I'm pushing through.
Well, you started a DMT, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty new. Um,
I just went
well,
and did all this blood work to see what's going on. And
I think the bigger overarching component, Terry, is have you given up and said, well, I was a minute slower than last time, so I'm done. Now you can say I'm on my way out all you want. That might be a true statement. I have no idea. I mean, I hope it's not. I hope you and I are in our 80s doing 40 below zero,
wow,
but
awesome.
that would be an accomplishment. Can you imagine me and you? Like I can't hear anything, you can't see, or vice versa, and we're just kind of like, huh? What? You know, but no, that's a very common mentality, bro. They say like, you know, and it might be true. And if that's what's weighing on your mind, then that's gonna be front and center for every activity. So didn't you take the are you doing the CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy?
I did a course of CBT, if that's what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Is that how it works? I'm not familiar. Do you just do a course of it and then you
You,
try to
you,
apply it?
yeah, exactly. I mean, the truth is, you're supposed to be working on it every day,
Sure.
practice, train your brain.
Sure.
If you can go take another CBT course that takes you in another angle, it might be better. It's something you work on daily. So,
Sure. So how would C let's work through it right here.
all right, let's do it.
How would CBT reframe the I'm on my way out? How would that apply? I mean,
So, it's me being scared that I'm on my way out,
okay.
right? Okay.
That's valid. That's valid.
So, I don't know, bro. It's me being scared, and I'm not giving up, first of all,
Right.
but I'm a realist. I'll say it as it is.
Sure.
So
I,
that's,
and I'm in the same boat, dude, because my my tests, all my clinical stuff is very stable. My MRI that I had earlier this year was almost identical to the one I had the year before. But like you, I feel worse. And my neurologist has said that is possible. It is possible for you to be symptomatically having a harder time and having more impacted, a
mm,
life. But clinically, there's nothing they can see. Um, so yeah, I get it. It does feel like you've hit milestones in a bad sense. Like you're now like, oh, well, I can't do that anymore. No, I can't. That's harder, you know. But I think CBT would say what positive could you talk about it? Well, you say what? At least I can do 19 minutes. Is that kind of how it works?
yeah, I can, I'm not saying that I'm reducing the time. I'm not saying it last time it took me 20 minutes. Now it's 19. I'm
Uh-huh.
saying my stamina. It just
Right.
feels like it's getting weaker. You
Feels
know what I
harder
mean?
to get to that 19-minute
But
mark.
it's still there, and I can still wake up, and I'm still fine. Like I can still laugh, I can still smile, I can still drink my coffee. Things are good. But I'm a realistic guy, and I'm telling you that my stamina slowly is going down. I will push. I will not give up. I will push. I will not give up. But this is the reason why I train 3 days a week just to keep up, maintain my body.
Sure. Right. Because you imagine where you would be if you didn't do that 3 days a week. You'd probably
Yeah.
be way worse off. Because just like when we had the doctor on when that horrible thunderstorm took me out of the episode, which
Yeah.
is hilarious, by the way, because
Uh,
you guys didn't even miss a beat.
oh,
You're
you're.
like, oh, well, Nick's gone. Keep going.
She was worried about you. She was
I
worried that
know.
you would.
She did. She followed up with me later. She
Oh,
she
did
got me
she?
on. Yeah,
She's.
she friended me on Instagram and sent me a message. She's like, I hope you're okay.
The storm swept me away.
Yeah. Picked up the whole shack I'm in.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
So, I
but no, that's what she said. If you don't use it, then you lose it. So you got to keep moving.
okay, okay. Yes, I agree, and I'm positive about it. But again, I keep going to that. Can I not be realistic about it and tell you?
No, you
You
can absolutely be a risk. I'm not, I'm telling you not to overlook the real part of it, but I'm saying you can choose what you focus on. That's all.
okay?
And
Okay.
that might make the difference in how you approach any task. So, like, for example, it was an embarrassment to you that you had a slip out of the wheelchair at the climbing place. So you chose not to go back. Well, now when you go back, the odds of you slipping out of the chair are still there, but you're here to face it.
I feel
That's all.
like, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't want to even get into this anymore because
Okay.
yes, it is. A lot of stuff going on in here that I'm battling and I'm figuring it out, and I'm getting stronger, man. I am getting stronger. And dude, I got to tell you, this helps me a lot because I get a
Yeah.
lot of people reaching out to me, and I know I'm not alone. And shit that I say, a lot of people are going through.
Not even close,
So,
dude.
and this is why I had the courage to tell you that I fell that day. But that's really not the real reason why I stopped going there. It's really because every time I climb the wall, I'm just I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm getting weak. I'm not as strong as he. I don't know. I beat myself up. I get it. And he's right about what it is. But let's move on.
You got to be
I have,
kinder to yourself, Terry.
yeah, I have a
Don't be
lot to
so
think about.
critical. Don't be so critical.
Yeah, that's Terry.
Yeah, well, it's okay. And listen, you're certainly not the only MSer I've ever met, including myself, who beats themselves up when they can't do what they thought they could do in the way they thought they could do it. That's
Really?
the frustration. Sure.
Can you give me their names, please?
Their name. Yeah, we'll start with Nick. We can start with me. Believe me, if there are days where I feel like if I don't go to bed having exhausted every ounce of energy I possess, then I was a failure that day. And that's very common, especially for us. And it's not right, but that's what we hold ourselves to. Why? I don't know. Because I guess we're trying to hold an image of ourselves. We've talked about it hundreds of times, the ego, right? If you can put the ego aside, life gets a little easier.
So someone once told me, you know, when you know that an MSer needs help, and I'm like, when? He's like, when he's on the floor,
It's
and
true.
he's trying to tell me like their egos get the best of them, and they never ask for help, and all of a sudden they're on the floor.
Yep.
So that
And
is
and to
true.
prove what to who? I mean, that's what we put on ourselves. It's not,
Yeah,
we've literally had our loved ones on this show that tell us that's bullshit and we don't need to do it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, bro. I like this, man. I like that we can just talk, and things will come up, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this off my chest. And I'm pretty sure the whole world has things on their chest that they can't get off because they're embarrassed and they don't know how someone's gonna react to it.
Yeah. Instead
Dude,
of just saying, I have MS, sometimes my life sucks, sometimes things don't work out. This is me. Take it or leave it. If you leave it, okay. If you take it, that's cool. I was
I
that
want
way a lot with the chair. I was a lot with the chair. Now I'm like, man, my legs are tired. Give me the
mm,
chair. Because my legs are getting tired faster, Terry.
do you
talking about
ever
talk about admitting stuff. It's
sorry, bro.
happening. No, it's okay. It's
I have a
happening. I can
buddy
feel it.
with MS too, and every day he's writing to me saying, I can't believe how fast my legs are going. I don't know what to say to him. Don't worry, bro. It's not over. Keep going, bro. You're gonna be okay. Like, I don't know what to say.
You tell them the truth, dude. Tell them this might be it. You know, the hardest part is because your mind knows that it can do something, but then your body's like, nah, think again. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, just be honest with them. Just tell them, listen, this is gonna suck, but there's a lot of people out here that are going through it. So that's why I can't stress enough the connections, the talking. Just keep talking.
Yeah. You're right. That's what I always say to people, and I think that's what it is. You
Yep.
know, just
Figure out this mic stand. Jesus.
send someone a text when you're going through struggles,
Yeah.
anything, because human interactions is what you need sometimes. And just say hi to someone. Say, hey, what's going on? Just saying hi.
Well, first, I didn't get a chance to thank you yet. Thank you for putting that article that the MS Society did for me up on the website and the reels and all that. Thank you for that. But that's what I'm talking about is the connections. That's not I didn't that's not a fabricated line. That's literally the best thing that we do, that I do with you and down here with the society is just talking to people because man, a lot of people need somebody to talk to these days.
That is true.
So
That is true, man. I got to meet a lot of people helping MS Canada, and the connections I'm so grateful for.
I, the people that I'm talking to, it just blows my mind that they first of all that they even know who I am and what we do, you and I. That's just crazy when I talk to them. Like, oh yeah, I listen to your show. I'm like, oh, I still have the mindset of this is a little show that, like 5 people listen to, like season 1.
Yeah.
We were having so much fun.
Are we gonna ever redo the season 1 episodes?
No, those are going to stand forever as a testament to where we started, Terry.
Okay. I hope the storm somehow takes out the servers.
Yeah, is that what we're doing?
I don't know, man.
So I am hopeful going
Yeah.
forward. Uh, I have August recess coming up. And August recess is when all the elected officials come back to their home districts. So I'm going to be chatting with those folks again, uh, and telling them the importance of what our priorities are. And I think, which I don't want to misquote here, so I'm not even going to say, but we have some legislative priorities that they're going to put me in front of some Congress people to talk about, which I feel truly honored to do.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yo,
it's crazy.
I've said this before. What a compliment that they're asked to you, that they
I know.
asked you.
I feel so humble. Thank you. It's like little old me, right?
MS
But
Society, MS Canada, they ain't a small thing. So when they
no,
want someone to represent them, that's a really cool thing.
yeah, it was yeah, and to be asked a couple of times, you know what I mean, to have the spotlight, and then they asked to be part of August recess. It's the not to sound like a too much of a company man, but if you've never been to an MS Society event, you should go. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just the love you get is unreal.
I just don't know if there's a difference between the American and the Canadian.
Well, it's just community, right? So when you
Yeah.
show up, it's not about the organization. It's about the people that are there to share stories and talk and struggle. And because we're going to
Do,
try to get through it.
do you think because the population in the States is so much more than Canada that so many more people are affected by MS, not themselves, but they know someone that's affected by MS. So there's such a bigger community.
Yeah,
I,
I mean, I think so. I mean, statistically that would be true.
I would think so.
But we got a million diagnosed down here, and to me, that's if you have a million diagnosed, that means you have 3 million affected at least.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's easy to walk into a senator's office or a Congress or representative's office and say, "Hey, I'm here on behalf of the MS Society, which is 1 million people diagnosed." So it's crazy, 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 crazy. So we got
Yeah.
that coming up. Um, Other than that, I'm just gonna try to beat the heat all summer because this is unreal. I know that I know that there are people who are on certain sides of how hot it is and why the issue globally. So I don't
Yeah.
want to get into that really, but
Yeah.
I do know that every time the heat index is 108 degrees Fahrenheit, that's not a good day for anybody with MS. My cooling vest literally lasts 20 minutes
Oh
in that,
shit.
and then I got to get in. I just
Yo.
can't. And and here's a confession, Terry, since we're confessing things. And
Hold on, let me record this.
yeah, you're not recording already? Um, I lived out in the sun as a kid. I worked at a camp. I was a camp counselor for 5 years. So to not be able to go out in the summertime is just like, it really kind of is soul crushing. I don't know how else to describe it, but just to have to look outside and go, yeah, I remember 12-hour days in this heat, having fun in rowboats, canoes, kayaks, sailboats,
Yo, I
you
grew
know.
up in the Middle East, man.
Yeah.
People say to me, because I'm like, it's too hot. They're like, didn't you just come from the Middle East or grow up in the Middle East? I'm like, it's not, who cares if I did?
Yeah, right.
But I love the sun, man. I love to be out. I love to swim. The
So,
whole, yeah.
yeah, it honestly, Terry, breaks my heart when
I
I
get
can't
you,
go
man.
out. So, unfortunately, that's why I overdo it and put myself in situations where I suffer consequences for being out in the heat. It's not like I'm mowing the lawn or, lifting weights in the sun. That's like literally just sitting outside for 5 minutes is too much. And like you said earlier, it gets hard to breathe.
Dude, that's true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to someone and I feel like I'm just trying to catch my breath.
Yeah. And
And then
you're like, oh, what's going on here?
like I'm
Then you
okay
think,
now, but
yeah. But then you think like,
weird.
then I don't know about you, but every time something like that happens, I'm like, is this a new symptom? Is this a flare up? Is this going to be this way forever?
The hug has come back.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Okay.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. I know a lot of people have that really
Yeah,
torturous
right here.
squeeze.
Right
It's
here
nothing
on the
bad.
ribs.
Yes. Yeah, but it's not
Oh,
bad. It just feels like there's a pressure. It's not bad at all.
that's
I'm just
annoying.
stating it. That's all. So
Yeah.
that's it.
I found a uh I found a really good 10-to-1 strain. So 10 CBD to 1 THC.
Okay.
And I use that a lot because I don't get zonked out of my brain. I can just keep hitting it and it's working. So I'm going to keep rolling with
Yeah,
it.
but then you go back and you try to get the same strain. Is it really the same strain?
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? This
yeah,
is
I do. I do. It's a whole, the industry is not, I mean, it's regulated, it's well regulated, but it's not very
just the beginning.
precise. Yeah. So, so yeah, I usually use a 10-to-1 most days, a lot of the time, especially in the heat. And it works. And I know it's doing something because I forget that I was supposed to be feeling a pain somewhere. And I go, oh, my
Yo,
ribs don't really hurt.
that's what it's supposed to do. Get
Right.
you into a comfortable um situation. Get you into
So,
a comfortable,
mhm.
you know what I
And
mean? Like
I definitely use it. Yeah. I definitely use it as much as I can. So,
whatever, man. People have no problem saying I took a Tylenol because I have a headache.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta use what works, dude. You gotta use what works. And we talk about that a lot. That's, one of these days I'll put up a video of me getting around with my crutches. So I think that's the only thing I don't have online.
2 crutches on each arm.
No, one crutch on each arm. It's got like the
I mean,
palm thing. Yeah, Tara, I have 4 crutches. Yep.
I meant 1 crutch on each
I
arm.
move really fast.
It's not funny. No,
It's not.
seriously.
It's
So
not. Stop it.
1 crutch on each arm. Okay, I
Yeah.
want to see that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to put up a video on
it's
Instagram.
better than using a walker, because a walker you're just like picking yourself up, but the crutches is more of a.
I look like I'm not a Star Wars guy, but there's that one ship. It's
I'm
like
not either, but I know what you're talking about.
I think it's called I'm gonna get lit up. I don't even want to say it. The Ata. I don't even know. You know what I'm talking about. It's a Snoke
No,
thing.
I don't know. I don't know
So
the name,
bad. I can't
but
even go. Like I was never been a Star Wars guy.
me
So,
too. Shh.
yeah. Don't
Hey,
tell
how
anybody.
many before we end this show, how many Harry Potter books or movies have you watched?
Movies. My kids made me watch all of them. But if they
Good.
didn't say, "Hey, Dad, did you want to watch a movie?" I would probably have never watched them. It's just never resonated with me. Never got into them. So
Me too. But yeah, now you can shame us on that one.
yeah,
No Star
perfect.
Wars.
Yep,
Yeah.
no Star Wars. Don't know anything about Harry Potter. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for hanging with us. What an episode it was. Thanks
Yeah.
again to our guest, Jeremy, and his adaptive climbing. Terry's going to put a bunch of links on the page. Check out all of his stuff. And if you can, donate, because it is such a worthy cause. Anytime the community of people are helping those with disabilities do cool stuff, we should donate to them. That's for sure.
Respect.
All right, brother. Talk
Nice
soon.
talking to you, man. Talk soon. Bye. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4T-below-zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.